This video is brought to you by the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team. Go to patreon.com/discgolfnerd. My people, hello. It is time once again for some more disc golf plastic show and tell. I'm going to show you guys some new discs that I've added to my bag and also a couple of other odds and ends, some review discs and stuff as well that I want to show off here on the channel. Just to show you guys some plastic, ramble a little bit, check in like I like to do. First of all, we have the Dynamic Discs Bounty. So big thank you to DD for sending me this thing to test and review. Here are some flight numbers for it. It's a little bit of a slower mid-range, understable, should be very low fade. It's got some dome to it for sure, as you can see there. And it's got a bead. It's kind of like a rock comet type vibe to my eye. There's your look at the profile of this thing. Interesting. I'll be intrigued to throw this guy. Let's see if I can find the weight on here. Actually, appears there are no weight markings on this particular disc, so I'll get it on the scale before the review. Have not even thrown it yet, but I just wanted to give you a quick look at it. Interesting feel. I'm not really a huge fan of how rounded the top is in my hand. I like kind of more lower profile, kind of flatter mid-ranges personally, but I'm definitely intrigued to see how this thing flies. It should have a nice floaty glide to it and a very straight flight overall, but I don't think they're terribly flippy. Like, I don't think they like really roll over on you super hard. I think it's more like a kind of flip up to flat and fly like laser straight type disc. We shall see. I'm sure it'll hold a turnover and all that good stuff as well. Another disc I took in for review, and this is a first for the channel, a little exclusive here for you guys checking this video out. I got a pair of Zenus from Latitude 64. So I have a soft one here, and then I also have this somewhat used Bobby Music Zero Medium Moonshine one as well. And the reason I got this disc is because I've had a review on the Zenus for many years. It's a very old disc. It actually predates the Zone, I'm fairly certain, which I'm not sure I was aware of at the time when I reviewed it. But if you look at the PDGA approved list of when this thing hit the market, it was before the Zone. So this is really the OG flat top overstable approach disc. And it's got the weird kind of textured panels on here that I think some folks don't like, but it's really not a big deal to just hold it here. I think it feels better off of those, but if you like that, it's really not going to be a problem. And I think if I were to carry this thing, I don't think I would mind too much. Wherever my hand kind of landed, I'd probably just throw it. But with this soft Zero soft plastic, it's so grippy and rubbery that I don't think those are really necessary, but they are there. This is a disc I've not thrown for a really long time. That review has been made private because I hate it. It's terrible, and I wanted to redo it, and it's an interesting mold, and it's one that I think I should have properly reviewed here in the playlist with flight footage and all that kind of good stuff. So stay tuned for that. Huge shout out to friend of the channel, one of my Patreon supporters, Max Garcia, for sending me this Zenus to test and review. I really appreciate that. I put out a call on Instagram, and he hit me up, and he was kind enough to just send me these to check out. He's not throwing them any longer, I don't believe, and I believe he has quite a few kind of hanging out, so he sent me these to check out. So excited to test those. I'm also very curious to see if this soft one works out nicely as a forehand approach disc for me, and maybe we'll do a little bit better job than my Caltrup for those forehand specific approaches, which is something that I've been trying to see if I can't dial in a little bit more recently. Okay, moving on. Next, we have another Gobi for the collection. It's a funny story. Somebody actually reached out to me on Instagram and said, hey, I saw this Gobi for sale on this website, and I know that you're a big fan. I thought you might want to check it out. So I saw it on there, and it was actually this website that I'll put the URL to on the video in just a second here. And I clicked over there, and I found the contact information. I reached out to the person who owned the website to see if they wanted to do a trade or something. And very generous, kind individual, Michael Hahn. He actually has a blog that's on his website as well. And he said, hey, if I send it over, will you give me a quick shout out? And you can just have it. We talked about trades, we talked about buying it, and then he's like, you know what? Once he realized it was me, he said he was actually a viewer of the channel, and asked if I would give him a quick shout out. He'd be happy to send me the Gobi just to have in my collection as kind of a gift for putting out all the content that I do, which was very kind, very nice of him. He actually threw in a sticker as well. Take a look at his business card for that. But yeah, very nice. I appreciate that very much, and I'm really happy to have this one in the collection because this is a color I had not seen before, nor did I have one in stock. It's like almost white, but it's basically like a really, really pastel light blue. So definitely an interesting color that I hadn't seen before. No ink on this guy. And I'm very happy to throw it into the collection. If it ever needs to be called upon for active duty, it can end up in the bag, but we'll see. I'm pretty happy with the two that I have in the bag right now. Okay, so the rest of these are actually being tested for my own personal bag. One of them is also going to be reviewed, but these are throwers that I got from my own bag. And especially with the weather turning to rain and stuff here in the Pacific Northwest, I think there's a good chance I will be putting out a full in the bag video coming up here very soon. I did a bunch of filming for it already, so I just have to sit down with my bag and do that part. And I'll probably do so relatively soon, so stay tuned for that. I know people love in the bag videos, myself included, and I'll be posting a new one relatively soon. But sneak peek into it right now. I have a new putter, guys. I'm switching to, for the time being, at least as a good, consistent, long-term test, I'm switching to the Keystone in zero medium plastic. Here are some flight numbers on the Keystone. Now, I reviewed this disc in Opto, but it's got a lot of the things that I like in a putter and in discs in general. It's flat-topped, almost like puddle. Take a look at this thing. You can see it's really kind of like rounded, but it's also kind of square and blunt, which I really like the feel of it. It also feels somewhat low profile in my hand. I'm kind of a terrible judge for that, but it doesn't feel very deep to me, so I'm not exactly sure what the the measurements would be. This one's 173, so it's right around max weight or so. Here's another look at it. So again, no bead or anything like that, and it feels really nice. I like the zero medium. It's got some give to it. This one's not very soft. I felt other mediums that are a little softer than this, but it's great. It's got a really nice rubbery, tacky feel, but it's not floppy in the hand where it makes it difficult to release it cleanly. And so far, so good. I think I've only putted with it for one round so far, but I hit some good putts, and I just needed something different in my hand, guys. Like, the Jawbreaker magnet's just not doing it for me lately. I just don't like the feel of it all of a sudden, and I've lost so much confidence with them that I wanted to start fresh. I got this nice orange and black one to kind of evoke my old school orange soft magnets that I love and throw still. And I will still be approaching and throwing tee shots with those. Although I am quite intrigued to see how this thing will fly as well. The Opto one was definitely a nice like flip up straight flyer. You can check out my full review of the Opto Keystone. But I have not thrown this one. I've just putted with it so far, and I definitely really like it. I'll probably get a couple more, but this is a long-term experiment that I'm going to try to see if I can't kind of rebuild my confidence on the green. So far, so good. That's the Keystone, new addition to the bag. I also picked up a backup fuse. I got this nice new run opaque orange Opto one. I have not thrown this one yet. It's just a backup that I grabbed because they keep selling out, or they seem to be selling out a lot, and I had some credit to an online retailer, and I just snagged this guy to have in the stock. But I have been carrying it. I just hadn't actually thrown it yet. I'll probably do that relatively soon, see where it stacks up, and I might actually switch to that one over the pink one that I've been bagging for a little while, just because I know that pink one and I trust it. I can put it aside if this one flies somewhat close to that. And then I have another one that's in my bag that I'll show you when you check out the in the bag video. I've been carrying at least 2 fuses lately and throwing them a lot. Really great discs. Okay, another one. This one I got for review. You guys may have seen it already in my Sun King unboxing from the last round of stuff I got to review from Sun King. But this is the Discmania Evolution Essence, molded by Latitude 64. Incredible plastic that just feels amazing. It's like hybrid opaque Opto that's just unbelievable. Here are your flight numbers. A little bit slower than some of my fairway control drivers that are 9 speeds. This is an 8, but it's not that different really. but it's got an extremely comfortable feel. I love the design of this thing. It feels amazing in the hand. It's got huge glide, and so far so good. It's a little bit more stable than I was expecting, but my arm's been a little wonky lately. I'm not throwing very fast. I'm trying to dial in my form a little bit. It's been kind of off because I really haven't played much golf with how wacky this year has been, but definitely a really nice flyer that I think is going to stick around to complement my other discs. It's like a little bit less stable than my Escape, definitely a little bit more stable than my Furies, and it could be a really nice complement somewhere in the middle there. Nice slow speed disc with good glide that I can throw quite well so far. And finally, we have the Opto Air Havoc. This one's not very light. It's 157, 158 grams or so, so it's right around 160, which isn't like crazy light. I didn't want like 150 or so, but they didn't really actually have that anyway. I was looking for a regular Opto around 165 or so because I wanted it to be flippier than the Goldline Burst, Domi Goldline Burst one that I have in the bag as well. And when I was looking around, they had some in the 160s, and I was like, you know what? I really like the feel of air plastic. Something about the bubbles makes it a little softer and gummier feeling in the hand. I feel like I can really get my hand on it. I love the rim feel of this Havoc in general. It feels really nice. It's a high speed, but I really love the feel of this thing. It's just got a very kind of straight line on the underside here that just feels great in the hand, and I really like this thing. And I was like, you know what, I like the air quite a bit. I like the feel of them, and at 158, it's not really going to be that different in terms of the weight. So I snagged this one to throw to complement that other one, and I really like it. It's definitely flippier. It will ride over much easier. It'll kind of flip up much easier as well. But if I throw it on hyzer and commit to it, it'll fly a really nice sweep hyzer, extra glide, and really nice distance. It comes out of the hand really fast in this speed and weight range, and so far it's working out quite well to the point where recently I actually played a full round. I don't think I threw my Thrashers at all the last couple rounds. I'm only carrying one right now. It's another spoiler from my in the bag, so I'm only carrying one Thrasher, which is kind of crazy. I'm trying to lean on my 9 speeds more off the tee for sure. And I've always thrown a lot more mid-ranges and putters whenever possible. So the Havocs have been a really nice addition, though, and I'll give you a little bit more details on those in my in the bag. But those are some new discs to my bag, new discs to the collection, and also a couple of review discs that I have in stock here. Just wanted to show them off, let you guys know what's going on with me. Let me know, as always, in the comments down below, what are some of the discs that you have been testing recently for your own bag, anything that's made the bag. Let me know. And I'm always interested to see that kind of stuff. And if you like what I do, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so, to stay tuned for all the different content that I like to put out. Thanks for your support. I'll check you later. Cheers.